Happy New Year's, y'all. We 5 days in and we still in here in the kitchen and straight to the point cooking up something nice. Let's go. It's your girl, Bella Marcella, and I'm back with another lit video. Today we're doing collard greens. So let's get in the kitchen and get straight to the point. I have here about 4 bundles of collard greens. I'm going to put them in the sink and get them prepared to be washed. First, I'm going to take my collard greens and take the stems off. Some people like stems, but I do not like stems. So I try my best to get most of the stems off, as you see here. Once I get done peeling my collard greens and taking the stems off, I'm going to put them in a little water bath and wash them up just like I did my chitlins in the other video, and wash them like some clothes. You're going to see the dirt and the sand come off your collard greens. It's going to go to the bottom of your sink. So you want to drain that and refill it with fresh water. Do that a couple times. Once you're done with your collard greens, some people like to bunch them up and cut them. I like to tear them. So I'll take bunches of them and tear them up, and then I'll put them back into a wash and wash them off. Make sure I get all the dirt off once again. When I get done, I'll put it in a strainer and strain that water off. And then I'm gonna put a pot on the stove and get ready to get started. I take my seasonings out, and I'm gonna go ahead and take out these ham hocks and the smoked joel. That's what I use for the flavor in my collard greens. You can use smoked turkey if you like. You can use bacon. It's up to you. But today I'm doing ham hock and smoked joel. I'm going to take my onion and my bell pepper, which I already diced up and set to the side. I'm going to put that in the pan with my ham hock and get a nice little sear on my ham hock to get the flavors going. Then I'm going to take my seasonings out, and I'm going to season my ham hock and my onion and bell pepper. So I'm going to use black pepper, crushed red pepper, a little bit of salt. I'm going to use some salt-free seasoning. I'm going to use some fresh garlic. I'm going to sprinkle some hot sauce in here, and I'm going to also use some garlic powder and a little bit of onion powder. It's going to be so delicious. Just trust me on this. Once I get a nice little sear, then I'm going to take some chicken broth. You're going to need about 3 32-ounce of chicken broth, and you're going to pour that into your pot. Let that go ahead and come up to a boil. Oh, one thing that I forgot, you're going to use some accent as well. Okay, so let that come up to a nice little boil, and then you can start putting your washed collard greens in a little bit at a time. And I'm using a nice large pot here, so it's going to shrivel down just a little bit, but I don't have to worry about it overflowing, or once it starts to come to a boil, it starts boiling over. So use a nice sized pot. Put your greens in, cover it, let it shrivel down just a little bit, and then go in and put some more until you're done placing all your greens into the pot, and then cover it and let it simmer. It's going to take a couple hours to get nice and tender. You'll see that when you put your greens into the pot, it's going to be this bright, vibrant green. But once you start cooking your collard greens, you'll notice that the color will change and it'll start getting dark green. Okay? And once it gets dark green, how do you know that it's done? You're going to taste it. Don't have no problem tasting your food. You should taste your food. You should want to taste it before you serve it. That's how you know, make sure that it's delicious. That ham hock is going to soak up into that juice and get those collard greens tasting nice and delicious, and so is that smoked joel. The trick is, once you start seeing the smoked joel starts to get loose, like it's going to break up, that's when you take the smoked joel out. You don't want to keep the smoked joel in for more than about 3 or 4 hours, because the fat and stuff from the smoked joel is going to come off and fall apart into your greens. So take that out. You'll also eventually take out your ham hock, and then you're going to cut the fat and the skin off, and then take the meat, cut it up in chunks, and place that back into your greens. That's how you get meat into your greens. But like I said, if you want to use smoked turkey, you'll do the same. You'll boil that into your greens, get the flavor from the smokiness of the turkey, and then once you see it start falling apart, you take it out, and then you'll start taking the meat and remove it away from the bones, and then put the meat back into your greens. Once your greens start looking dark in color like this, then you know that your greens are getting about done. You'll see a lot of the juices start to render down from your greens. Also add about 1 32-ounce container of water to your pot. That'll go with the chicken broth for flavor and also balance everything out. Once you do all this, your greens are going to be nice and delicious, and you're going to serve them right on up, and then you'll be ready to make more. I like to eat my greens with a little bit of cornbread. I uploaded a video of my cornbread on here, so you can click on that link and watch that. Serve your greens up, And you also could do the same recipe with mustard greens. I really like those. Those cook faster than the collard greens. All right, y'all. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And then I'll be here waiting for comments and ready to upload another video for y'all where we get in the kitchen and get straight to the point.